Everybody, and welcome to Hex Token channel. Woohoo! Welcome everybody. What a day. It's party time. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. It is very cool. And look at this payout. We don't normally start with the Hex daily stats, but we're gonna get into the highlights and then we'll cover it in detail later on at the end of the live stream as we normally do. But look at that. I'm gonna have to zoom in on that. Look at that. Woo-hoo! Hot doggity dog. Penalties, 95.8 million Hex penalties. And of course, the Hex payout is going to be today 10.779. So 10.8 payout, the fifth biggest in Hex history by my accounts. Amazing. So pretty exciting about that. We're going to look more about that later on when we cover the Hex daily stats in full. But that is pretty terrific. Isn't that fantastic? So exciting. So let's do a little bit of quick math on that. So let's go just 10.8, just round it up there. We're going to times that by the price. Let's say the price, I don't know exactly is at the moment. Let's say 3.1 cents, somewhere around that ballpark. That's 33 cents. Woohoo! Nice per T-share. So the more T-shares you got, the more you've got on that. Yeah, boy. So very, very cool. So that's per T-share in US dollars. So obviously if you're in a currency with a weaker currency, then that's going to be a lot higher. So very, very cool. All right, so a good day in the office for good old Hex stakers, and that's what Hex is all about. If you haven't checked out hex.com in the video description, make sure you do your investment due diligence. Nothing on this channel, of course, is investment advice. All right, so cool, just my opinions, and we're going to have a lot of fun. But what a great start to the live stream. Party time, folks, party time. We're going to have a good time with that. So actually, let's get some party music going. We're going to party up in the chat there as we go through. Get into the chat, say hello, and of course, get excited. Very, very cool.
Here, my $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.
So there we are, folks. There's a bit of party music. Well done. Congratulations, everybody. A massive 10.8 Hex per T-share. Very, very cool. We're going to look into what that is made up of a little bit later in the live stream, so stay tuned for that when we get up to the Hex price chart. It's going to be cool. We're going to get started off, obviously, stock market, crypto, Hex ecosystem, which includes the Hex HSI auctions. We're going to get into some of the Pulsechain project updates, including Pulse Bitcoin, BNBP update, which I missed yesterday, so we have to talk about that today. Rack and Rochelle, Overwatch, of course. We're going to talk about EB Exchange as well. That's coming down the pipeline, so stay tuned. Lots of cool stuff happening at the moment. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to find out who's in the house. We got BC in the Matrix in the house. Good to see you. We're going to have a look at Racine. Hey, good to see you. Rango as well. Nearly 96 million in penalties today. That is true. A massive day. Fantastic. Brendan's in the house. Morning, Suitman. Come for the alpha. Yeah, boy. A good one, Brendan. I like it. And, of course, here we go. Yeah, boy. Hey, I just wrote that. How did I do that? Must have been premonition. Must be in a premonition. Brian's in the house. One of our awesome community leads as well. Now, yesterday I did do a big update. Actually, I might pull that update later on. We might go through that. That is that's just for Hex Token channel members. So I did an update on how the channel is going, all the social media to the Hex Token channel members. So hopefully they've enjoyed that. I like to do that every so often. Hey, I love the support and like to know how that support is playing out into the real world. So it's pretty cool. Katie's in the house there. Good to see everybody. Good to see you, Katie. One of our awesome moderators, Wookie as well. Another moderator in the chat. Here we go. Jedi's hold tight. Woohoo. Yeah, definitely hold tight there. We got Turtles only in house. Wow, I got 100 TCS. So it's 1,000X just for today. Wow, that's awesome. That is fantastic. Well done, man. Yeah, Hex is all about T-shares. It's got an amazing magical mechanism called the share rate. And of course, that means that depends on what your decision is versus everybody else's. And of course, getting those T-shares is the sweet swing. But like a money printer, we say, but it's not really like a money printer. It is a money printer, but it's not like a money printer. It's like for me, it's like a decision printer. And of course, you make certain decisions and you get certain rewards. It's probably a better way of looking at it in some ways. So cool. KS says party time. Yeah, definitely party time. Haters Tears. Yeah, I love that song. It's really good. That's from, I think it's Little Baby. We're going to check that out. I think we're going to have it. He's got another video we're going to look at later on, so stay tuned for that. Uncle Will's in house here. Hey, you all. Good to see Uncle Will. Kato Natural as well. Hey, Hex Token to the moon on Pulsechain launch. Yeah, absolutely amazing. In fact, I'm going to be doing some surveys on the community tab around Hex and Pulsechain. So look forward to that. I'm trying to get a sense of where people's thinking. The community is thinking about certain topics. So look forward to some more polls. And now, remember, I used to do a lot of polls on the community tab. We get big numbers in for people voting on those. They seem to be the most popular thing, the vote on prices and other things like that. So I'm going to do a couple more on that. So look forward to some more polls from Hex Token channel. Space in house there. Product. That's it. Good product market fit. Hex fits, that's for sure. Remember, in Hex, you mint your own rewards. So remember that. So there's no middleman. There's no centralized exchange. There's no CFI. You are in control of your minting of Hex. That's pretty cool. It's all with an immutable code on the blockchain, which we love. Nice move, Suitman says, Bryn. I appreciate that. Prada Hater says, Christian. Absolutely. The turtles to millionaires. I like that. Turtles only. And of course, I want to see an even 100 million in penalties, says Briz. Yeah, that'd be pretty nice. Turtles all the way down. That's true. And definitely spam the like button. Yeah, if you haven't subscribe, hit the like button. Hey, we just got over 6,300 subscribers. We're slowly creeping up there. And I can't wait to head towards 7,000. That's kind of got a really good number, the sound to it. So we're looking to get there. Share the channel around. That really does help as well. Ted Nelson says, hey, everybody, good to see Ted, a Hex Token channel member. Yo, good to see you in the house. And we've got Paul Outback as well. Hi again, who can get free Hex? Just asking, as I have some stakes. Well, you know, you got stakes, going to get some Hex. That's the way it goes, Paul. A BC in the Matrix, smash the likes. Definitely smash the likes, everybody. Let's get into it, folks. Stock market news and in crypto. We've got lots to get on, so we're just getting warmed up. Welcome to the channel. We've got the Dow Jones at pretty flat, basically 7.5 decrease at 33,546. That's actually holding up pretty well, honestly. We had a look at the max period of time. Remember, Dow Jones is the top 30 US industrials, at least, that are in this index. And you can see all time here. You can see how the market rally's gone up. We really haven't pulled that far back yet. And so that's something you got to take into account in terms of a correction at some stage. I really don't think we've had that proper correction yet. So just take that into account. If we have a look at the 5 years on this chart, you can see that we actually got up to 4,000. Sorry, I'm on the wrong one there. Let me go to Dow Jones. We're actually up around here, 36,100, 36,338 there back in the 26th of December, 2021. So the end of last year. And we've had some, a bit of selling off, but we're actually back. We're back as high as August now, which is pretty interesting. And so forth. So cool. With the S&P 500 is down 0.3%, down 12 points to 3946, and the Nasdaq there is down just under 0.4%, 38 points there to 11,144. Remember, Nasdaq has a lot of the tech companies in it. Now, for those who watch regular this channel, you wonder why I repeat the basics, because we have new people come in. That's why I repeat the basics. If you wonder why I go through the sort of a basic definition again, that's because of for new people. All right, so cool. We got the volatility index is down 7.5%. So that's a bit of a counterintuitive, but that's actually down to 24, measuring the volatility in the market. The dollar index is up almost 0.4%. Up to 106.56. The US dollar, remember, is the reserve currency of the world versus the trading partners. Now, US dollar is in its own topic by itself. I mean, there are so many different elements that people talk about, and we might do a special video on that because I think it's a good topic to flesh through. The commodities, let's jump over the commodities. Basically, we're going to look at the oil, and of course, it is down $2.86 to $90. a nice little reprieve here at the moment on the old Brent oil. And of course, that's down 3%. We've got crude oil, West Texas. That is down $3.65. So this both at 3% and 4% respectively, down to $82. And you can see the 5-year here on the price that we actually got up really high, remember, all the way up June 2022 up to $21. I mean, it was crazy. Unfortunately, we're back down from there at the moment. I kind of feel that there's a good chance for us to have a double top in this price of oil. So we're going to look at that as we get into next year, though. I think that's something for next year. We got gold at the moment is down $12.45 to $17.63. Silver down 51 cents, 2.5% almost, down $21. And of course, we've got that's pretty much it on that one. So that's where we're going to start to live. Let's get into the commentary. We got the S&P 500 slip for a second straight day, Thursday, as Federal Reserve officials continued to call for further rate hikes, stoking concerns about a deeper recession. And of course, St. Louis Federal Reserve President James Bullard insisted that rate hikes needed to be increased further to reach a sufficiently restrictive level to cool inflation. Bullard, who tends to lean hawkish, and boy is he is hawkish, suggested the Fed bench rate need to rise to 5 to 7%. What? Now, I told you that this is typically, we're focusing on the PCE rate, which is really where they're heading for the inflation, as opposed to the headline inflation number. As we saw, the headline inflation came in for October at 7.7%, remember? But we are looking at the PCE number, which is coming out pretty soon. It's coming out on the 1st of December. And of course, that's really what the Fed looks to do the inflation. Remember, they're really targeting 2%. They have a dual mandate. Remember, employment and inflation. At the moment, they're kind of foregoing a bit of employment to get that inflation target of 2%. And really, it's based around the PCE rate, which is different from the CPI, that, you know, the headline inflation number, which is really a survey on a basket of goods, as opposed to that GDP indicator, which is much more widespread with the PCE there. So probably a better measure, but it is actually lower, right? So September was 5.1% on that. So we're looking forward to see what that's going to be in December for the month of October. So has it fallen like the rest of the inflation numbers? We saw that the Producers Price Index fell the other day too. So we are getting a little bit of organic easing of the inflation there. Remember that when you raise interest rates, it's sort of a delayed impact on the economy and inflation. We're already heading into recession, right? So that's 95% locked in. And of course, this means that with higher interest rates, it's going to be a harder landing, right? The recession will be deeper and potentially longer. So that's what the real fears are heading into next year. So that's pretty much it. Now, markets can operate slightly differently to that, but they just try and price in the real economy eventually as well. And of course, we see that manifests itself in earnings that companies have. So anyway, that's kind of where I've been talking about the fact that we might get the 5.25% on the federal funds rate, which is the bottom of Bullard's range here of 5%. Remember, he's hawkish. 7%, man, that would be smashing the economy. I mean, that would be bad. That would be so bad. 5% is bad enough. Getting to 5%, you got to remember the retail rates are above that. So that would just be crazy there. We have seen some mixed stuff there around 7% or so for the retail rates for lending. So imagine getting to 7%. Oh my gosh, we'd be up at 10, 11% on, I guess, maybe on some interest rates. Could get quite high, 9%, 10%, something like that. Could get pretty out of control. You got to remember, the more higher the price goes, the more dominoes start to fall. Yeah, I was kind of a little shocked when I saw this, to be honest. That is pretty hawkish. And of course, if the PCE comes in, let's say at 5% or lower, then the gap between 2% is 3%. But of course, they normally have to go overshoot that mark to get things moving, especially where things are stubbornly staying up there. We've got the retail demand and employment stubbornly stay there. We are seeing cracks in the tech companies, but they're probably for a lot of different reasons. You know, a lot of them are too fat, the culture's just too, too hippie culture. There's too much hippie culture. Woke culture is in there too. So it's kind of that thing. They're over too many people working there and doing too few things kind of thing. And so forth. So there's plenty of memes out there about that. You can go check that out. So in any case, let's see what happens. If we get that, then I think, 5.25% is kind of my top of the range at the moment. And maybe we'll see that. Remember, we're currently at 4%. So we get December, February, March. possibly after that. So we might get 100 to 125 basis points. That'd be at the bottom of this hawkish range at 5%. So if that PCE rate comes in below 5%, that's probably maybe even taper them a little bit there. But it sounds like they really want to go overshoot. So I think that 5.25 basis points is kind of where the minimum target they might hit at this moment. And we really don't want them going much further than that. Really is going to be painful after that. If they do that, it's going to be painful. So we'll be watching that pretty closely over the next couple of Fed meetings. Remember, Fed has 8 meetings a year, not 12. Just remember that. So signs the job market remains resilient as weekly jobless claims fell short of expectations, strengthened the prospect of a more hawkish Fed, and stoked renewed concern about the Fed-induced recessions. Well, definitely when you get chairmans coming out, presidents coming out with comments like that, very hawkish, although there's probably more dovish people out there at the moment too. We had a thought that last week's increase might have been the start of a gradual move to higher levels, but there was no follow-through this week. Instead, claims remain in the historically low range as that has held since mid-August, Jeffrey said. A key part of the Treasury yield curve, the 10-year yield over the 2-year inverted, a key recession indicator by the most since 2019. So it's a very key one there. Consumer stocks led the broader market move lower, pressured by more than 4% slump in Norwegian cruise liner after Credit Suisse downgraded its ratings on the cruise stock to underperform from outperform, citing valuations concerns. Now, this is a big deal, and I'm not going to get too much into this because I don't want to be hammered, but organizations like Credit Suisse, they play both sides of the play. They've got an investment arm. They've also got a research arm. So you can imagine, I'll let your imagination see what they can do to markets. They have a huge client base in the investment arm, right? And they also have a client base in their research arm. And of course, the research arm comes out with these, assessments, and they can upgrade, downgrade. They can say whether industry or whether a company is this or that. And of course, how does that play out with their investment arm? You think about that playing both sides of the field, a bit like how CZ plays as number one at the top of Binance, plays the rest of the market, FTX and etc. Always seems to win, right? Whether he plays which side, sometimes he wins on all sides. So there we are. You can think about how some of these big players play the system, as it were. All right, so we got retailers including Bath and Body Works and Macy's help soften the blow in consumer stocks. And of course, finally, we've got following a slew of earnings seen so far, and in the midst of the volatile macro environment, Goldman Sachs, here's another one, right? Another big player said it favored consumer staples oriented retailers. So what do you think happens when they say we favor consumer staples oriented retail? Their investment arm, what does it go and do? It goes and buys some of these up, right? And puts also derivative positions in as well. So you can think about it yourself, how this is playing out. So it doesn't take much imagination. In tech, meanwhile, chip stocks were slightly higher, moving following a slump in the day earlier as NVIDIA Corporation better than expected quarter results lifted sentiment on the sector, which is nice to see. So that's pretty much it for the stock market. Let's pivot into crypto. And of course, we got BTC at 16,686. Pretty even at the moment, and we've got ETH there at just under $1,200. We've got BNB at 267, XRP at 38 cents, up 1.9%. So it's actually doing not too bad. We've got Litecoin actually on a bit of a move, 8% up to 62 days. $62, 62 days. That's hilarious, $62. So that's not too bad. Some of our highlight performers, Matic is at 87 cents, and of course Dodge there as well is at 8.4 at the moment. So a lot of these have benefited from Google Cloud, Twitter, and Meta, all doing different things with these different blockchains. We've got Solana at down 4.6% at $13.61, and so on. So that's kind of where our markets are. Both of our USDC and USD Tether are slightly under peg at the moment, and that's pretty much it, I think, on that one. What else? We've got Crow over here. Crow is at 6.9 as well. Now, I actually have looked up FTX. Let's have a quick look at FTX and see what that is at the moment. Its number has been delisted, by the way, on CoinGecko. So it doesn't seem to have a listing number now. Remember, it was sitting still pretty high. It seems to have gone down. Now down to $1.43, folks, is FTX. This is the last month, and you can see, man, falling from 25 bucks all the way down now to $1.43. And I think it's now more appropriately getting valued at the moment. So $1.43 there at the moment. So cool. Now, Richard Hart posted a picture of how complex, how many companies, I can't remember the exact number, there's 134. I talked about this the other day. And of course, they're all going to liquidation chapter 11 for the most part. And just crazy how complicated these setups get. And you can think about where all the money goes. Obviously, tens of millions went to the Democrat campaign. Second highest behind Soros for their campaign funding. And now, of course, they win both sides, right? They get the campaign money, and now they can also say, look at FTX. We can regulate the crypto and get our centralized digital currencies in play. And we see that now being played out with corporates and the US Federal Reserve. So isn't that funny how these timings all play out? They play both sides. They win both sides of the game. It's not only CZ that has, and other people, all these big investment funds that play both sides, but you also get this done in the political sphere as well. They win on all sides of the chessboard. Pretty crazy stuff, but you can see it's playing all over the place. So anyway, that's why decentralized crypto and DeFi, quality DeFi, obviously there's rubbish out there too, but quality DeFi and of course Hex and things like that offers real true freedom and of course a fair game and for the most chance. So it's pretty cool. All right, so let's jump over to Little Bubble. Little Bubble here. He's got a cool video that he's posted out here. I'm going to play that as well. So I'm going to first of all put in his link if you want to follow him. He's putting out lots of cool videos and music videos and memes and things like that. So check him out on the chat there. I've just posted his Twitter at the bottom there, so you can follow him on that. I know that Sandy Beach is trying to follow him or something, get contact. So that's pretty cool. And so forth. So let's get into this latest one. There's a pretty funny little music video here as well.
How much risk was in that system? Bilateral, bespoke, non-reported transactions. No one knew how much risk was in that system. Repackaged and re-leveraged again and again and again and again. No one knew how much risk was in that system. Bilateral, bespoke, non-reported transactions. No one knew how much risk was in that system. Repackaged and re-leveraged again and 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 again. Repackaged and re-leveraged again and again and again and again and again and again.
That's a scam!
Yeah, absolutely could pull it off without my math degree. Use very little math. Use a lot of elementary school math. Being comfortable with risk is very important.
No one knew how much risk was in that system. Bilateral, bespoke, non-reported transactions. No one knew how much risk was in that system. Repackaged and re-leveraged again and 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 again. Repackaged and re-leveraged again and again and again and again and again and again.
That's a scam!
So there's a very good video there from Little Bubble. And of course, he's Australian. So big shout out. You can follow him on his channel. Now, the one thing I was going to say, that guy there, it's in there. He's the guy from the BitConnect, which was obviously the big scam there. And of course, we know people that unfortunately fell for that. And yeah, it was pretty enticing. And of course, it's funny saying, scam what? So pretty clever stuff there. Now, what I was going to say was, Sam Bankman-Friedman, undermining crypto regulation, gaining favors, all sorts of stuff going on with this. It's a very big thing, obviously. But they've just wrecked the place. Now, I'm going to do a separate video later on today on the FTX, so from different sides. So I hope you guys enjoy that when they come out later on. All right, so cool. There's a bit of a teaser there. Nice little video there from a Little Bubble. Very cool. All right, so let's jump over to El Capo of crypto, because obviously we've been following him, talking as one of my favorite commentators, analysts, and crypto traders, and of course talking about the big Bitcoin hammer falling. Now, we probably reasonably expect it to happen this week. It may be next week, but it's definitely seems like it's on the cards. And of course, we've got El Capo Crypto. Good morning, with a friendly reminder: capitulation is very likely. This is 15 hours ago. Altcoins could drop 40 to 50% from here. So that's his update this morning, 15 hours ago. And I think he's still got here, patience is a virtue from the 6th here. That's another one there. So he's still in the same zone, expecting that capitulation, that final one, maybe down to 14K, maybe down to that 11K and pray from Richard Hart call. So we'll be following that. Just be extra cautious in the month of November. This is the month that we've been talking about for quite a while that seemed like we might get that play out. So just be extra cautious at the moment. I would suggest, obviously, not investment advice. If you want to be crazy, be out there and be crazy. But it definitely feels like that at the moment. All right, so cool. That is our crypto. We're going to get into Hex, of course. Now we're jumping in through the Hex. So stay tuned. Let's get into the chat, see who else has arrived as well. We've got a couple more people in there. We've got Spike in the house. Yo, peeps. Good to see Spike. We've got some more comments here. Smash the like. Definitely BC says. Obsessed with collecting T-shares, says Firefighter. Nice. That's cool. That is cool. T-shares are the main game in Hex, of course. Now, if you're not familiar with the term T-shares, it means trillion or trillions of shares. And, of course, Hex has a large volume of shares because of so many investors and the complications with the compounding interest and all that sort of stuff. So that's pretty cool. Aaron Hex in there. Woohoo! Hex Token. Good to see you, Aaron. Space D007. It says, hi, Alex of Hedron and Icosa is building his Pulsechain data center. Will be massive. Yeah, that's going to be a really, really big deal. Looking forward to that. It's a big exercise. So give old Alex out there a shout out on his Twitter about that. Hello, how are you today? Says Lives Beneath. Very good. Hex, EHEX, PLS, and PLSX for the win. Yeah, that's our maxi strategy on this channel. And of course, so we do talk about a lot of other cool things as well. But that's definitely the maxi strategy there. Check my pulse. Woohoo! Hexkins, is that right? 10 Hex per T-share. Yeah, 10.8. Actually, check my pulse. 10.8. Nice, very nice. That is true. We got here. JP Morgan likes DeFi crypto. Says check my pulse. Maybe I should zoom in on that a little bit there. It's a good topic actually. Check my pulse. What's up, Hexkins? Good to see Tin Top. Woo! What's up? Good to see you, Tin Top, as well. I got a few more people jumping in the chat there as well. Nice to see you all. Tamana's cooking. It's in the house. If I don't tokenize my one Hex HSI, there will be any issues with getting yields. Well, you tokenize it to transfer it, so it should be fine just by itself as a wrapped HSI stake. So yeah, it's up to you what you do there. If you'll still be earning the Hex inside it, so nothing changed there. If you want to sell it back to the Icosa contract then you'll need to tokenize it so you can transfer it. Check my pulse in the house. So what's up, the truth? Check my pulse. Good to see you. And we've got Crypto Carve in there as well. Whoop, whoop. Good to see you. Tin Top says almost as complicated as the number of action reports of Joe Biden's bank accounts. Yeah, that's true, Tin Top. That's true. SBF was seen at supermarket in Bahamas. Was he? Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen that one actually. Let us know on Discord if you see that. I don't want to flood the Richard Hart general chat too much with too much of these things because we try to stay on topic. But yeah, if you got something cool, let us know in the chat there. We got Pot of Gold. What? Yeah. Who made this remix? A little bubble from Australia there, and of course we play his Richard Hart one, which was very good. Spike says pathetic. Yeah. What else there? We got a few others in the house there. Kato, I thought that was pretty funny as well. Who else is in the house? We got Pulse Bezos. Woohoo! Good to see Pulse Bezos. Let me just jump through some of that. Christian says bye Hex. What else we got there? Christian says, remember AOL message saying you got mail? Well, with FTX, you got played. Yes, unfortunately. But welcome to Hex, everybody. If you did get, the bull market's coming. So at some stage. So look forward to that. Really, it's the pivot of the Fed that's going to be the most important thing there for that. What else there? Tamana's in the house says, if I don't tokenize my, I think we already covered that, didn't we? I think we come back around there again on that one. Tin Top's in the house there. Very, very nice, says Tin Top. Crypto Carb says, super bullish on liquid loans. LUSD stablecoin at $1.04 in the bear market. Love it. Hey, Crypto Carb, I said that too. I've seen some people, I've seen some hate, people not liking it. Let's call them haters. Yeah, liquid is a good example I think liquid loan is going to be way bigger because it's launching at the beginning of Pulsechain. Maybe 4 to 6 weeks after. I think it's going to be the dominant stablecoin. I think we've got at least 4 native stablecoins coming, including BankX and Coast, and the best models as well. The best models of stablecoins, and we see how important that's going to be. USDC and USD Tether, while they are definitely dominating, particularly Tether, they've got a lot of weaknesses and issues around those too. Even though Circle publishes a monthly report, still got transparency issues there. I think having these really clever algorithmic coins or fiat-backed coins is going to be really good for Pulsechain. I think we're going to be in pretty good space, honestly. And I think USDL will get a pretty good price in there for sure. Haters didn't get in the sacrifice. Agreed. Dominant stablecoin. There's crypto cav. Yeah, I agree with that. The bull is getting ready to be released. Yeah. Well, we're waiting for a pivot. I don't know if it's quite here yet. I think it could be a little bit later, Christian, than many are thinking. And maybe it's March. Maybe it's March on the pivot there. But I do think that we might have a Christmas rally. That's kind of where I'm feeling after that Fed hike will determine everything on the 14th of December. That's kind of where I feel at the moment. So I'd be a bit more cautious leading into this period. We've still got a bit of rough stuff to go through. RTR covered the JP Morgan Rake to Riches, covered the JP Morgan bullish DeFi topic on today's stream. Oh, cool. Well, then I don't have to cover it then if RTR did it. Tether is screwed, 56% tied to Alameda. Yep, that's going to be a bit of an issue there. Justin, Twitter temporarily closes all office buildings and suspend employees' access. Really? Is that everything? I don't know. We'll go check that on Twitter a bit later. And Pulse Bezos says, smash the likes, you dummy, says Pulse Bezos. Well, they're not dummies. People are smart, but you do smash that like. All right, so cool. Let's get into it. We've got Hex at the moment at 3.069. So a little bit of a sell-off here. I'm not sure if it's due to hexologists being, part of the SEC phishing investigation, as I call it. So they're really after information. Whether anything comes of that is another story. I don't really see a good case for that. And maybe they're looking at some of the other stuff. We'll find out. Hex is a mutable code on the blockchain. That's pretty much it. So cool. We're currently at 3.069 cents. Yeah, and a nice little discount in the accumulation zone, as I call it. Remember, nothing on this channel is investment advice, just my own opinions. But here we are at the stage. So let's have a look at the key indicators coming up there. The US election, that's pretty much done now. So I'm going to delete that. We know that the Democrats won the House, and pretty much, well, at least it's 50-49, but that's pretty much flat on that one. And of course, I think it's still a little bit up to date. Sorry, what did I say? The House? I mean the Senate. I've done this twice now. But the Republicans got the House. So that's the way I'm trying to put it that way. Hex HSI auctions have been running, of course. What we're in coming up to day 5 or whatever. So we're at the turn of the day. I think we're at the end of day 4, if I'm correct there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe the end of day 5. And, of course, we've got the Pulsechain V3. I don't know when that's going to happen. But getting a testnet before the end of the year would be pretty cool. Richard mentioned it on live stream. So look at the GitHub is getting updated all the time. So that looked possibly as a little teaser. Hopefully, imagine if we did get a V3 by the end of the year, would be pretty nice on that. So I might move this little hopium around the Pulsechain. Now, a lot of people talking about March or April next year. That's kind of the secondary place. And of course, if we don't get V3 testnet before the end of the year, then that's obviously looking even more likely. But I don't really see a big reason for such a delay. I think timing of the market probably more important. So we'll see how that plays. We've got Richard Hart, the end of the beer, the 21st of November. But that was could be, not will be. And of course, it was subject to the pivot of the Fed, and of course, Bitcoin being dumped by the government that's been collected and things like that. So Silk Road and things like that. So we have to see how that all plays out. We've got Hex third birthday, which is the biggest thing coming up. We've got what have we got here? We've got the Pulse Bitcoin's got big stuff happening. We've got that coming out to the market in a couple of days. And we've got which is kind of a side project, but it's probably the next big thing in our general ecosystem. Not the Hex ecosystem, but the Pulsechain one. And of course, then we've got for the Hex ecosystem, the Hex third birthday is kind of the next big event there. So that's pretty cool. Coming up on Hex third birthday. So getting closer and closer and closer. 2 weeks to go, actually. 2 weeks to go. The Fed rate hike is the big deal there. The PCE inflation on the 1st of December, just before the Hex third birthday, and then the Fed rate hikes. These are the two big market movers, these two ones here, I think. And then, of course, who knows? I think Hex, if we do get Pulsechain V3, man, that's a huge catalyst for Hex, massive catalyst for Hex in my view. That'd be the first proof of stake version of ETH on the chain. That's a bullish move. And so let's get excited. Maybe if Richard if he's still holding to this November period for the bottom of the bear, then maybe we could get this V3 out after in the second half of December, maybe or in December. That'd be pretty cool. After the Hex third birthday, would be pretty nice. That'd be a pretty good gift to the community. And of course, I'm expecting the second half of December to potentially have our best chance of a rally into Christmas. So we'll see. If we get that the test net and get past the Fed rate hike, maybe with the 50 basis points, then it could be game on in December. Let us see how that goes. Obviously, let's jump over to Hex on the ETH Power network. $688,000 of volume at ETH Power. We're going to scroll all the way down to Hex, somewhere down here, number 12. Wow, it's actually moved up a few spots. So remember, we got all the way down to number 18, back to number 12. So that's kind of cool. 000284, $2,200 in volume for this main peer and $38,000 in liquidity, up 6.5% last 24 hours. So pretty cool. That's when the Hex price is. Remember, it got as high as the high price was 0.4 of a penny. That's as high as it got. So 204. So it's down at 2842. That's kind of where we are at the stage on the ETH Power network. The ETH Fair network, 56,000 in volume. This has been a bit better in volume the last yesterday and today. It was really bad volume in the last before that. It was down like $8,000 or something like crazy like that. It was crazy stuff. Anyway, so Hex at the moment is, the store in the top. What's the price here? 4 zeros, not 3 zeros, 4 zeros, 7543. Ouchie, $230 in volume in the top pair here. The second top pair, $41. Oh my gosh, hardly anyone's doing anything on here at the moment. $5,500 in liquidity, down 5%. So hardly anyone's doing anything on the ETH Fair network there, even for Hex. So that's pretty much where that is at the moment. So real divergence between, not convergence between Hex prices on chains, but divergence. What? Anyway, so we'll jump to Hedron. Hedron also had a pullback here down to 2,650 at the high of the day, 2,932, which is holding up at a pretty nice level around that 3,000 mark. But no, down today, 2,652. Let me know in the chat if you know of any reason why you think that's happened. But that is down to 2,652. Just following Hex down, perhaps. Let's see. We had the big prize here, 71,000 T-shares at the beginning. Over 6,700 HSIs. This is what our starting numbers were. And of course, day one, 24,000 T-shares. Day two, 3,000, etc. Just lots and lots of burning of Hedron, Icosa inflation, Icosa rewards, high yields. And of course, a lot of people probably getting pretty close to free carry. We're going to talk about that in a minute for Hedron. So let's jump over to Icosa and have a look at the HSI auctions in the house. What do we got here? All these auctions are open at the moment. So there's 5,759 Hex HSI auctions coming up. That's crazy good, right? Just burn, baby, burn. Lots of value opportunities there for people to bid on. Obviously, you have to make your own assessment. I always say get a spreadsheet up and running and make sure you know your numbers. Don't just throw money after nothing. You've got to make sure you know what you're talking about in terms of valuing these things. Now, you can future value them as well. Say, well, I'm willing to pay a little bit more for this particular one if you think the Hex and Hedron, etc., are all going to go up in price later on. So that's something for you to think about there. Anyway, let's jump over to the top 100 and see how many we've got. 90. Only 90 in it at the moment. Oh my gosh, that's the lowest we've seen. A lot of these ones have all been won. So we're just jumping down to the ones that are still there. So we've got all these ones. We're going to have a quick look and see. We've got a couple of 500,000 here. These are closing in 28 minutes and 51 minutes. So 2.5 million Hex, 69 T-shares. No bonuses in these for the Hedron bonus. In other words, launch bonuses in the first 100 days. There was launch bonuses that people could get. There's none of those. Let's have a look at 112,000 Hex there, 50,000. I love how people do 5,555 Hexes. That's pretty cool. They're all coming up in the next couple, 5-6 hours. We've got a million Hex. Oh, here's 2 million. So we had about 90 of these that were up in the million or more. These are the kind of ones that the Poly would have been bidding on, but Poly's out of the game now, which the other whales are like, yay, thanks very much, Poly. But Poly is now staked all its Hedron, obviously benefiting big time from the Hedron source account or SA account, which is kind of like the mystery account there. A bit like the origin account, source account, sacrifice account, or a bit like the the mystery box, a bit like those sort of entities in the Hex ecosystem. They seem to be very friendly to staker class. So there we are. And we've got 1 million here. That is up for grabs. No bonuses, but we've got 2 billion Hedron on that so far. We've got 1 million here. That's got a massive 7.8 billion. Is that right? Am I right there? It's got 3-0. Man, that's crazy. This one here is way higher than this one here. That's some crazy stuff going on right there. So someone bid. Maybe they didn't see this other one here. Some crazy bidding. So, yeah, I imagine either someone's going to come and bid on this or whatever, but some crazy stuff going on right there. Those bids are counterintuitive, but we'll see. Still got time to go. 5 hours, 6 hours. Long way to go for those ones. 1.3 million as well. These are three in a row. What? 3 in a row. 181 T-shares there up for grabs. 7.5 billion for that. Look at that. So it's got more than that one, and it's got more T-shares, etc. But it's got it's got an equivalent bid. It's a bit crazy. It's actually lower bid. So hopefully, by the time you get to the end, we'll see what happens with those three. Those are the 3 big ones. We're just going down through a couple. We've got 125, 100,000, 200,000, 181,000, etc. So these got different bids on them. 400,000, 500,000. So there's still quite a few big ones here going through. That's on the first. That's it. It's all 90 at the moment. So those are there's actually quite a few nice little carrot ones. Poly would have meant a bit on a lot of those. And so, yeah, those are the ones that they would have targeted. So it's cool. Let's jump over to the total numbers here on Hex Model by Dev Huey. And of course, this is what we started off with, this picture here. And we know that we're going to have weeks and weeks and weeks of nice little auctions coming up. And every 90 days, we're going to have these auctions come around again, but they'll be lower. So I think this one here, we had 24,000 or something. That's going to be down really closer to 6,000 in 90 days. We're getting a lot of these getting recycled. People are winning these auctions, the Hex HSIs, and then, of course, tokenizing them and sending them back to their Icosa contract. They get Icosa, they stake it, and, of course, the Icosa contract then borrows the Hedron and, once again, repeats the whole cycle, fails to pay back the Hedron it borrowed. The Hedron goes to Icosa stakers, and, of course, they fail to pay back. The Icosa contract does, and, of course, it goes back into the auction house in 90 days' time. Rinse and repeat. But meanwhile, when you rinse and repeat, it's going to be lower next time. But you're going to get this massive burn still. You're going to get this Icosa inflation. You can get higher rewards. So it's pretty cool. And of course, it's sort of that self-fulfilling thing. Yeah, it's going to have a big impact, particularly in the first year, particularly I would say. And you never know. Maybe more people get on board with that, and it happens. It starts to lift itself in the total volumes again. So we'll see. Lots of things ahead for that, but that's pretty cool. We've got a lot of the top ones in here, of course, as well. And the burn's been pretty cool. We've got 6,700 here, 71,000. This was, I think, the starting number as well. I don't think that's not dynamic. I don't believe it's just the starting number. Let's jump over to the Hedron, though. And I think these pages are updated dynamically. So we'll have a look at least every day. They're probably going to update. Yeah, it's 40 minutes past the hour. So we've probably got some here. We had 1.6 trillion burn on the 13th there, 14th. 730 billion it says here. Looks like 90 billion there as well. So to keep burning, 5.86 trillion burned at the moment. I'm not sure if these have, I don't think they have today's numbers in it here. Yeah, we'll see how that gets on. We've also got the Watsa yield. Let's have a look at what the Watsa yield is at the moment. People must be pretty close to getting closer to free carry. Well, I'm not sure if this is updated yet, but we're at $810 versus 100. So 81% coverage at the moment. So that's looking pretty good. Day 94 there. So looking pretty good. Definitely dropped off, right? And we expect that, but we're going to have at least some decent stuff every day. So I don't think it's going to take too long to get to free carry where your return covers your original investment. And of course, it's all gravy from there. All gravy. Gravy. All right. So let's look at the Icosa as well. Let me know in the chat how your yields are going, because that's kind of cool. I like to see people getting paid. That's what I like. Right. So cool. What else there? We've got when you stake Icosa, you get Icosa and Hedron. When you stake Hedron, you get Icosa and so forth. So you can see the benefits there that people are getting. So that's pretty neat. The Hedron yield. So nice. Woohoo! 39 billion. What's that one? 12.5 billion. And then 7.4 billion. On the Icosa yield, what we got? 6.6 million Icosa. Wow. That's huge. Inflation. And 1.5 billion. Sorry, 1.5 million, I should say, Icosa yield, and then that was at day 94, 408 as well. All right, so cool, looking good there. We're going to jump over to Dev Huey. Now, he had 7 hours ago, he had an update here, 35 billion Hedron minted. So, was it 12.6? Not sure what the N is there. Hedron loaned. 219 billion Hedron burned so far within 7 hours to go. So that is actually finished. So that's pretty cool. In fact, I think we got I think we looked at that on the other page. So that's kind of cool. That's Dev Huey. I don't think he's got any other updates there. No other updates. All right, so cool. That is the Icosa. And of course, quite a few good, juicy Hex HSIs up for grabs. Some of the whales will be bidding on that, and some weird prices. All right, some weird prices at the moment. Still quite a few hours to go though, so maybe they'll level out by the time they get up there. But there's deals to be had. There's deals to be had for those that are keeping a keen eye on those auctions. That's for sure. Some people have had real big steals, and really good discounts on some of those. So it has been a good enterprise, those auctions. We're looking forward to see that. All right, so cool. Dip Catcher, of course, is still moving along. So obviously, even after they had to stake all the Hedron, and of course, the Hedron source account minted 500 billion poly, and of course, then burnt all that stuff. And of course, that put the poly minters back ahead, actually. Instead of being 15% down, ended up about 10% up. So one poly was worth 1.1, I think it was, Hedron, which is pretty neat. Great work there. So welcome to the best ecosystem in the world, right? Because you don't get this in crypto. If there's a mistake in any codes, best intentions, but if there's any errors, then you never get compensated. But welcome to this ecosystem. Luckily, there are entities out there that like to protect the staker class, which is pretty cool. Right, so he was going live with Poly. Imagine he's live as well. What's next for Poly? He's also going live, creating a portfolio tracker app. So he's working on that at the moment. You can see him. This is live actually, so you can see him working on this. I think at the moment, I think it's still live, and it's 1 hour ago, but I think it's probably still live. They're ticking away, working at the Poly portfolio tracker, working hard for your money. Nice work there. Keep it up, Dip Catcher. And that's pretty much there. We're going to jump over to the airdrops. And of course, you can get hold of all the airdrops in our Discord. Well, not all of them, but all the ones that we're aware of at least. And you can go to Pulsechain. Links to Discord is in the video description and probably in the chat. One of the mods will probably post one. We've got airdrop free claims. You've got all the claims in here. They've got different qualifying criteria. And of course, you must always do your investment due diligence before claiming. All that good stuff. Some of them are not quite yet started yet, so just take that into account as well. Now, if there's anyone missing on here that you think that should be on there, let me know and we'll review it, and we might add that too. That's pretty cool. We're up to 1,006 members, having hit 1,000, which is pretty cool. I guess we're on the next road to whatever I guess 1,050 is our next target. I guess that's kind of the place to go. If you like good information, good community, join our Discord. Links in the video description. All right, so cool. Let me just close down some of these sites. I'm going to move that over to the back here, and we're going to close down some of these. Let me jump over to airdrops. This is where we are. Let's get into the chat, though, see who's arrived. I'm sure we've got a few new people jumped into the chat there, so let's catch up on that. How far back did I get to? Find out where I got up to. Definitely got up to there. We've got Shane in the house there. Hey, y'all. Shano, good to see you, Shano. What else? We got a couple more people in the house there, too. Marco Serbia's in the house. Hello, Marco. Good to see you. And Kato Natural says, loving the cheap Maxi. Yes, there's some probably deals amongst the perpetuals and Maxi out there, so you can definitely check those. We haven't been covering them in detail. We might have a good look at that as well. If I don't tokenize, I think we covered that one there. Yeah, we covered some of that. CryptoCab talking about liquid loans. I just didn't get the sacrifice. I agree. Dominant stablecoin, yeah, I believe so. I think it might flood through a lot of different trading pairs. The bull is getting ready to be released, says Kristen. And of course, there is the Discord link if you want to join our Discord. We're going to try and look to probably the next big thing we've got coming up is probably a Hex workshop. Still have to work through the details of that, but we've done 2 AMAs. Thanks to Fat Sammy and Brian. They're around Pulse Bitcoin with a Neo AMA and Texan Token. And we had Crypto Heartbeat and, of course, Rag to Riches in there on that one, which is pretty cool. The next one is our first workshop, probably coming around Hex. So let us get it into Discord and let us know anything that you would like to cover in the Hex workshop, and we'll look at that too. So definitely get in there under the general chat. Let us know. Richard, so we covered that too. Which covered, I think I've caught up all those, so we'll jump through some of that. Sandy Beach in the house. Good to see you, Sandy Beach, one of our community mods as well. Hello, Hex Token and everybody. Good to see you, Sandy Beach as well. Sarah G's in the house. Hello, hello. Good to see you, Sarah. DB Cooper's arrived as well. Woohoo! One day closer, DB. One day closer to Pulsechain. And X-Ray Vision's in the house there. Damn, I caught up with yesterday's stream. You're a Kiwi machine. Hey, kids. Hey, so good to see X-Ray Vision. Yeah, Kiwi machine, that's for sure. When Pulsechain launched, I front run you on that, TV. I front run you on that. One day closer, sir. One day closer. I did make brief comments on that a bit earlier. But yeah. North Face in the house. Very nice. Very nice. It definitely is. And we've got Paul Danu in the house as well. Happy to be here. Nobody paid me anything to be here. The end is near, says Danny. That's funny, man. That's funny. All right, so cool. What else there? We've got Big Coon in the house as well. Woo! Good to see you. Peter Stab as well. Shout out to DB. My guy, says Pete. Nice one. I'm sure DB appreciates that. Will Hex go to 2 cents? It's definitely possible, Pete. We are in that month of November, and so that is the volatile period. So that is probably in play. At the moment, it's been holding pretty nicely in this 3 to 3.3 cents range. So that's kind of where it is at the moment. Woohoo! All right, so let's jump over to the airdrops. Like I say, in Discord, you can find the link to these, but we're covering the charts. Pulse Dogecoin, it is at $5.85. We're going to have a quick look at the period. We've got these two things going on at the moment. So we've got the transforming of PLSD into ASIC, and that ends on the 20th of December there. We've got the ASIC token miner ATMs also in play, and that ends on the 21st. At the end of that also, not as at the end of ATMs where you can get ASIC NFTs, which I think ASIC might be the most valuable token, and that's my speculation there, because you won't be able to get it after these two phases ends, and then there is deflation in there too. So it's kind of interesting. Is it more valuable than the Pulse Bitcoin? I don't know. We'll find out. And will it decouple from decouple as well in terms of the price versus Pulse Dogecoin as well? So that's another thing. We're also going to have Pulse Bitcoin in the market in a couple of days. So that's going to be fun to see that priced as well. Very interesting things going to be happening here. Now, obviously, Transform PLSD. The ASIC is on at the moment. So we're just ticking through these periods, but we're almost, the ATM mine is almost over. We have to change the plane to green. This has got Wolverine flying this plane. One of the whales in that space and influences. So let's have a look at the results at the moment. Pulse Dogecoin. For every Pulse Dogecoin you transform, you get 5 asset tokens, which you need to mine Pulse Bitcoin and potentially in the future a Pulse Litecoin as well. So we got 2,974,762 Pulse Dogecoin has been transformed and burned in the same process. And of course, you get 5 asset tokens. There's now 14.6 million asset tokens in the market. 48.8% of all Pulse Dogecoin, the meme coin in the ecosystem, has been burned, which is dramatic, right? That is dramatic. We're going to see what happens to Pulse Dogecoin after the transform process. 28 days through 60. Looks like we're about 2 days or so away from the market price of Pulse Dogecoin. Pulse Bitcoin, I should say. There is no market price. There is no anything that you see out there is a scam at the moment. But you can buy asset tokens on the market. And a Pulse Dogecoin, the ASIC should be around about 1/5 of the Pulse Dogecoin at the moment, but it may decouple from that in the future. So we'll see how that goes. Let's have a look at how many people have been mining with the ASIC tokens. Remember, there's a mining reward rate at the moment, 7.5%, and an ASIC mining fee burn. So it is deflationary, the ASIC, and of course, you won't be able to get ASIC tokens once these ATM and Pulse Dogecoin transform over. So it's going to be interesting around that. We'll see. Let me know in the chat what you think about that. 7,158 miners at the moment, 14 million in ASIC mining power. And of course, how much has been mined so far? 1,080,000 Pulse Bitcoin have been mined. And of course, this is the hardening 0. So it's like the first phase. The next phase is hardening 1. A bit like Pulse Bitcoin, this is basically a virtual representation of the proof of work version. And of course, that 10.5 million, which will be half of the supply. Just like Bitcoin's going to have 21 million at the end. And of course, it's going to take a while to get there, right? So this is only 10% the way through. It's got a long way to go for that. All right, so cool. That is pretty much it. Let's have a look at the asset token miner. 2 days and 17 hours to go, folks. Woohoo! And of course, this is a bit like the What's NFTs, but USDC, Tether, DAI, Wrapped ETH, Hex, and Hedron. And of course, you get these NFTs, 2,898 ATMs at the moment, 976 points. Really? Wow, that's got bigger. And of course, whoa, another whale. Looks like they've come into the place there. Looks like another $300,000 in there, maybe 300,000. 2.8 million points now, $2.8 million. And of course, not surprised, maybe people are twigging on that the asset may be incredibly valuable because you won't be able to get it, right? You'll only be able to buy it on the market, and it's getting scarcer. Now, if you hold these ATMs, you do earn more asset tokens, but of course, that goes down with every halving. But of course, and you're not mining Pulse, Bitcoin, or Litecoin at a time, but maybe it's an interesting play. So food for thought there. If you want to get into our price chat on Discord, you could get into that and have a chat about that. It's definitely something to talk about, or you can get into new tokens chat, have a chat about that strategy. Could be some pretty interesting stuff. So cool. All right, so that's pretty neat. Let's get back over to where that is. So that's Pulse Bitcoin, folks, and of course Pulse Litecoin potentially coming down in the future as well. Really mimicking that the real, the proof of work version from yeah. So that's going to be cool. All right, so let's jump away from that. Let's see where this price goes to. Currently $5.85. Actually, not looking too bad. Let's get over to the Zen token. Obviously, there's a free mint. You have to pay a bit of gas fees depending on what chain you're on. 9 chains, I think. 10 chains now, are they? 10 chains? Did they launch on another chain yesterday? I think they did. I can't remember what it was, but I think they did. All right, so we've got 508791 on the ETH chain, and that's definitely just dropped off a little bit further there as well. We are expecting, I think, the Zen NFTs and things like that to come out soon, potentially with deflation as well, so which would be a nice surprise to the upside. PP, Paul Pleb, is currently at 502568, so pretty similar the last couple of days. Let's have a quick look at Paul Pleb. Launched at a bad time, unfortunately. November this month is not, not too bad. We've had some nice little green days, but definitely not the best day for crypto. And of course, we've been sitting around this mark here for a little while now. 5025 there. And what else there? Weight token is it broke down, got down to below 0.2 of a penny. Now at a quarter of a penny at the moment, so 1 cent, basically a quarter of 1 cent, but did get up to almost 0.3 of a penny. That's where it is there as well. All right, so cool. That is pretty much the airdrop free claims. So we're going to get out of all that. Oh my goodness, let's get over to our speculative play. This is our speculative play. We like to have fun in crypto, but only if it's world class. So this is our world's first peer-to-peer crypto casino. This is a new technology essentially in the crypto sphere, and of course we like it. So when we say new technology, it's using a lot of clever methods, call functions, and new relationships in terms of calling and making this, a casino work that's peer-to-peer, which is pretty cool. So you haven't got any middleman. You have got it's between you and another player, and of course all on the code there. So it's pretty clever stuff. Now, obviously, this is the first sacrifice project that has gone through the Pulsechain ecosystem that has launched and has been spectacular returns for the people who invested. I'll be very surprised if many others get even close to this one in terms of the extra returns. I think there's probably maybe at max maybe a dozen that may do well, and I think this is probably going to end up probably being in the top 5 or 6. In terms of performance, and of course the only one out at the moment. There's also going to be launching on multi-chain, including Pulsechain, and of course we're currently at $11.65 here on BSC chain, and of course you can see the price here got up to about 29x returns for people, and of course it's currently still up around about 12.6x returns, with the sacrifice equivalents being about $1, and of course you're getting on 5 chains. So you pay $5, but you're getting 5 chains, so that's $1 pretty much per chain. And here we are at $11.65, so pretty nice there at the moment. Performing pretty well. We are expecting a new game, surprise game, to be coming out. The second game, of course, the revenue will get bigger as more games come, theoretically, all things equal. And, of course, that's what we're looking at the moment. So we've got, obviously, the main game, Jackpot, which is the first game launched, just ticking over. There are currently almost 7,000 games being played so far. And this every sort of like 3-4 minutes, this will just tick over, a new game will play. Just needs 2 people to play. And away it goes. And of course, next game, which this is kind of a surprise, this is expected to come out anytime now, is the Powerball. And of course, that was big news, and this came out of nowhere. And then, of course, maybe in 2 weeks' time, we'll probably get the roulette coming out, which is huge as well. This has NFTs where people have auctioned the NFTs, and of course, they become the house. They've got to fund the tables, and this will be big too. So the revenue is just getting bigger. And if so, even though there is a very high staking percentage, which is a good sign, the revenue is going to get more shared out across those. So It's getting, it's getting cool. It's going to take time to play out. But man, it's the world's first peer-to-peer crypto casino. Pretty cool. The burn is continuing to burn. And so the 1 million supplies is going down slowly down as well. So there's only one real volume play to the downside, I would say, and that is the participation wallet. That is the incentive pool of 100,000 tokens, which is currently staked. And of course, that will get allocated to all the winners. That will make it volatile while that's being reallocated. So a distribution phase for that as the people get that. They won it for free, pretty much. Well, not free. They took risk. But they pretty much get that, and then they can, a certain amount will sell it down, a certain amount will stake it. We won't know until that happens, but I suggest we'll probably get, quite a few of that sold down, and of course that will be a buyer's opportunity at that time. And then after that, there's nothing else left after that, right? So it's just a game on. So more and more products come in, more users and that sort of stuff. That's how it will play out. Now, nothing is certain, nothing is given. It's all speculative, but it is a pretty cool staking model, and that's what we look at it from this channel. As the staking rewards there. So pretty cool. Looking forward to that. Now, another big news that they had, which I missed yesterday, and that is due to popular demand from new users, we have now locked the liquidity for 2 years. So the liquidity pool is now locked. So no rug pull, not that I expected there to be one, but the liquidity's been locked. So just more confidence in the project. Success. So you can't ask for much better than that, right? So that's pretty cool. And of course, 13,800 BNPP locked in there with 561 wrapped BNB on the other side, 96.8% locked liquidity. Very, very cool. So you can see all the transactions there as well. Very nice. So congratulations to everybody there. That is very cool. And the project only goes from strength to strength. Like I say, it's going to be a lot of fun to see this roll out, and there will be volatility in it as I say, as those key variables happen. Now, obviously, what else? Let me jump over to that. That's pretty much it for the BNB coverage there, and we like to have a bit of fun, and that's our fun project for sure. Let us get over to that's pretty much our chart coverage as well. We're going to get up to Rack and Rochelle. Now, I didn't cover this the other day as well, but of course, Rack and Rochelle, our biggest whale, pretty much out there in Pulsechain, Hex, and things like that. Excluding Origin accounts and stuff, is building on for Pulsechain, and I'm very excited about what he's doing. Now he's building independently, but a lot of the stuff will pull into Pulsechain, and of course they just called out on the 15th there for user interface designer needed for a crypto exchange, which is pretty bullish, right? All interested parties, feel free to contact me via direct message on Twitter. Please include a brief synopsis of your experience in design. So if you're out there, maybe that's you. Everything blockchain exchange is coming. And I think that's pretty cool. So really liking that, and of course looking forward to that. Now, the last update we had was on here on the 1st of November, and that was from Everything Blockchain, a tech company that enables real-world use cases of blockchain to solve critical business issues. Announced that its EB exchange digital assets trading platform has entered third-party testing. So it's getting closer and closer. Very exciting. Now, 4 products that we know of that are coming on the table. This is the EB exchange. We're going to have potentially a coin listing site that would include a lot of Pulsechain stuff. And we've got the security, government level security DApp, which I believe is already out and operating. And then, of course, we've got the 4th one is a fiat on-ramp, off-ramp, which will probably run through this exchange here. So this kind of ecosystem makes sense, all that stuff. And and so very excited about this. Keep up the great work, Rackham, and we look forward to more. Now, he has put out feeders before about other ideas that people think are really critical to, how do we call it, magnifying the Pulsechain impact when it launches. And we'll see what else comes out from Overwatch, Rackham Rochelle, and of course the technology arm, the Everything Blockchain there as well. So we're looking forward to them, which are listed, right? So OBTX there. So very excited about that. We might have, say, 6 to 8 billion, maybe 6 billion. I'm going to be more conservative. Maybe 6 billionaires involved in Hex some way. But of course, we only have one that I know of that's actually building a lot of stuff, and that is the Rack and Rochelle Overwatch. And of course, he's a venture capitalist, right? So his vision, he said in the past, is he wants to be one of the world's biggest venture capitalists. And of course, how do you do that? Everyone knows crypto, right? Best performing asset class. And so they've made big positions in that. Now, obviously, they're as keen as we are, probably even more keen than DB Cooper about wanting Pulsechain to launch. So the sooner the better. I'd be very bullish about Pulsechain testnet if it comes out this year. That'd be very cool. But of course, it will come out when it's going to come out. We don't have any control over that, so we will see. All right, it's cool. That is pretty much it. Let's jump into the Hex Daily Stats. I think we're going to talk about that, and let me just minimize a lot of stuff here. We're on day 1081, can you believe it? Isn't that cool? So day 1081, the 17th of November, 2022, we got the price down 4.3% at 3.078. Obviously, at this level, when the price comes down, your volume that you get for buying Hex goes way up. So there is a trade-off there. We've got a pretty nice one there. We've got the payout per T-share at 10.779. Of course, we talked about that. That is the headline of this video. Hex stakers get big Hex payout, the 5th largest in Hex crypto history. So pretty amazing. In fact, I'm going to try and bring up this site here. I had problems rendering it earlier, so that's why I didn't show it at the beginning. But let's hopefully it is set. Let's hope it renders this time after me letting it do its thing. It's having a little trouble there. Yeah, it's just for some reason it's not rendering at the moment. We'll come back to that. In any case, we've got the T-share rate at 773, $773 for T-share. It's up 11.9 today. Yesterday was quite decent too, 70.1, and we're at 25,110. That is only going up and to the right. So that's the part of the magical features, specific features. So Richard has different fundamentals. Some of them are generic fundamentals, like the way crypto goes up is if you buy, or any asset, if you buy something and you hold it and you don't sell it, then there's the more people that do that, the more likely the price is going to go up. But the other specific things to Hex, of course, one of the specifics fundamentals to Hex is the share rate, which is really the cornerstone or the foundation block there. And of course, reflects compound interest and makes earlier pays better, right? So you get a better rate as you go as well. Now you can get up to 200% discount to this if you do longer pays better, which is another of the special features of Hex, and that's 20% more shares. When you stake your Hex gets burned, disappears, and you get shares, which is part of the ownership pool. And of course, you get 20% more shares per year, an effective Hex, as they call it, when you stake your Hex. So up to 10 years, 200% more, and you can get this all for a third of the price. So it's a pretty cool mechanism there. Longer pays better. And that's why we have an average stake length of 6.71 years, which is amazing. That means the community is going to be around a long time. And of course, it also shows you how that first principle, that general principle Richard has of people buying and holding, helps the propensity of the price over time to go up. So it's just one of those key things. There are other elements that are required, but that is definitely a key pivotal one. We got the APY yield and emergency in-stake penalty, so inflation and in-stakes. Remember, Hex is pretty much like Bitcoin, but with what they call a proof of work change. And of course, the miners in Bitcoin get the inflation, whereas in here, stakers mint their own inflation. So it's pretty cool, or their own rewards, as we like to say, which is pretty cool. Now, that is 65.66% today. Almost mind-blowing, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. We had a really good day the other day at 43.82%. We have a good day every day because it's like up in 37% as well, and that's pretty cool. But today, 65.66, 5th biggest, best day in history, and so that's pretty cool. I'm not sure if this chart's going to render. No, it's just not rendering here for some reason. Maybe due to the cache or something like that, but I did look at it earlier today, and it was fine. So anyway, it's not rendering there. All right, so cool. That's pretty much in the pool. We're up at 360 million Hex. Yesterday we had 333 million. Liquidity in the pool, we got $9.7 million versus 10.1 million. And liquidity in ETH is 1,500 versus 1,600 yesterday. So going pretty good there. T-shares down dramatic. Woohoo! 29,000. And of course, we're just below 10.4 million. My goodness. Wow. Now, this is where I always do this every day. But Hex is easy to understand. We have a reward pool with inflation and penalties in it. And we have an ownership pool with T-shares, which stands for trillions of shares. And of course, if you change the reward pool or the ownership pool, then Hex payout per T-share changes a little bit every day. Now, today, obviously, with the ownership pool's just gone down by 29,000 T-shares. And of course, that ownership pool has gone down, which means the Hex payout is better as well. So it's kind of cool like that. And man, we just went below 10.4 million. Amazing, amazing. Now, the Crypto Spa book guys do an annual assessment of the number of T-shares over a long period of time, over like a 15-year time horizon. And so I'm looking forward to their update. It'll probably be maybe it's going to be the end of this year or the beginning of next year. So we're looking forward to them, and they've been pretty accurate with that. So if you check out, they've got 2 videos on their channel, Crypto Sparbook, that you can have a look at their old annual videos, and it's been pretty accurate. So I actually like their forecasts on that one. So cool. We're going to get into some of the other stuff as well. Let's jump over to the stake percentage of coins. 9.67% of all Hex is staked at the moment. And of course, the penalties today, it's just a mind-blowingly 96 million basically penalties. Amazing. Now, I was going to bring up the Whalebot. And yeah, that site's just not rendering at the moment. It's going to bring up the Whalebot, and we're going to have a quick look at some of the breakdown of this. We're coming up to an hour and 10 minutes, so doing good, pretty good time. Let's jump back down here. And I'm not sure we have to go that far back, but let's have a look yeah, a bit further back there. So we had 5.6 million bought Hex, 178,000 11 hours ago. 207 million in staked, ROI 4.2%, reward 23.5 million, penalty 14.7 million there. That's after 290 days to 365. So it's kind of crazy. See if anyone's got any comments on that. Even Hexologist replied to that, says, well, I'm not sure what's going on there. So cool. What else we got there? Was it a DGN Shark? Thanks for your services, dude, says Dolo. So there we are. There's a couple of comments. He got a lot of Hex for sure. So 280 million Hex in there, $8.6 million. Guess who's back again? ODB's back. Tell a friend, Motley investor there. At least this time he's forced to sell the bottom. Last time he is extracting a lot of US dollar value per Hex, probably at the top there. So it's some pretty funny. Some of these stuff are crazy funny, all right? This is an example of monetary disrespect. When money comes easy, it's not always the case that one understands how to wield it. Well, says this D'Artagnan there. There's some funny stuff there. So pretty crazy out going on there. What else? There's lots of comments on this one, man. This has been hammered today. Big yes. Much obliged, says Iron Crypto. I haven't got some of the usual commentators in here, actually, which is quite interesting. But yeah, that's definitely well received. A lot of people responding to this today. So there we are, folks. That is the big news there. We had 10 million with some penalties as well. Another 40 million here with some penalties, 1 million. And who knows why they do this, but they do it. 4.9 million just sold for 151,000 8 hours ago. I think that's, are we getting almost up there? I think so. 12 million in stakes after 31 days. There's undefined days. Something's going on here with that, but hey, I'm sure it'll be fixed up. That's pretty much it. Another 12.6 million in stake there, 31 days there. So looks like that's pretty much a monthly stake there, as we've got plenty of those, right? All right, so that's kind of cool. Let's look at the growth numbers of Hex. And of course, we always like growth. Who likes growing? I know. Let's grow the numbers. And of course, current holders up 199 to 313,410. That's a big move. So wait, and the wallet said this is the number you might see on Etherscan. We've got the current holder stakers. This was out of whack yesterday. Remember yesterday it was out of whack, and it looks like they fixed it up. So yesterday's number was 107. We couldn't see that yesterday. So we got up to 112,937. But today, stakers are up 142. Very cool. Triple-digit numbers. Fantastic. That's what we like. And, of course, so we're at 113,000 stakers. Well done, everybody. Now, as Richard Hart always says, get out there and do direct promotions. You know, get out there, spread the word. And, you know, might be handing out leaflets or whatever, all that good stuff. And get out there and about. So pretty cool. Total holders up 323 and up to 510,196. So Hex keeps growing. Look at these numbers. Growth. And of course, I think we're just getting started. Hex is coming up to its 3rd year birthday. We're on day 1,082, heading up towards 1,095 for the Hex 3rd birthday, getting closer and closer 2 weeks away. That's pretty awesome, right? So the base amount pretty much for the Hex payout is around about 6.17 now. We've already got some penalties in there, but let's see how we get on tomorrow. So that is the Hex Day stats, folks. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's check out the markets at the moment. We got, let's see how we're going there. FTX is at $1.44. So that should be going down, right? Down. Anyway, so we've got a BDC, 16,900, up 1.36%. Defying odds at the moment is the BDC. Where's this big capitulation? Maybe it's going to be tomorrow. Maybe it's next week. We will see how we get on. Still expecting the hammer to fall and not fallen quite yet. Ether back over 1,200 as well. We've got Hex at the moment at a nice little discount price, pretty much near the bottom of the range at the moment, 3.057 cents there. And of course, I've got here accumulation zone, obviously, and not investment advice, just my assessment there. And of course, all the way through to mid-December. And then I feel, we might get the right conditions with the Fed rate hike there, maybe some Pulsechain V3 testnet. No, who knows? And maybe we'll have the right conditions for a little rally. We'll have to assess it by the time we get to the 14th. And who knows? Who knows? All right, so obviously some big money's got to come in. That's how prices move, or a whole retail rush. That's the other side of it. The Hedron at the moment, 2,652. We're up to an hour and 15 minutes on the live stream. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show. I have enjoyed it. Party time, of course. And look at party time. Let's go. Party time. We love the payouts. That's pretty much it. All right, so cool. I think we've got some more members, so we're going to read out a few of the members here. Yesterday we got, I should go back a few here. We got Dingo in on the 17th. It took me to yesterday. We had Liren there, came in today. We had Simple Believer come in today. Good to see Simple Believer. And Bob Tillahan. Bob Tiller the Hun. There he is, just come in as well. So welcome to you. We like to give everybody a sort of a project one as well. We'll give you a Hex one today since we've had a big Hex payout. How about that? That's pretty cool. All right, so hope you guys have enjoyed the live stream today. We're going to get rid of all the overlay. I'm going to catch up on the comments. I'm going to leave it on Hex chart just as I catch up. And you haven't subscribed to the channel, smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell, because Pulsechain, Hex, Pulsechain, it's going to be an amazing ecosystem. Rich Arts tokens really are the golden of part of crypto DeFi. And of course, we're excited about the future. So much is coming. Now, we'll be doing a circulating supply chart update. So stay tuned for that. That's going to come out as well. That's always very insightful how that flows into the liquidity pools and, of course, the supply and demand. So we'll see. I hope you guys will enjoy that one too. All right. I'm going to do an FTX video later on in the day. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a bit of fun. What else there? I think we got up to Sandy. We definitely got up to Sandy. Got up to Sarah. We definitely got Sarah. I think we got a Danny there as well. Happy to be here. Nobody paid. I think we got up to definitely got a Danny there. We got some spam in the chat, but it's unfortunate. Living on crypto. G'day from the Dominican Republic. Good to see you living on crypto as always. And Dirty Paws maybe, but it's been hanging around three pretty steady. Yeah, it has been Dirty Paws. Has been for sure. Hex did go down to went down to 2.29 cents on Hex. This is when the big whale sold. That big whale and went down to 2.29 on this particular chart. Yep. Spike says, nice. Good to see you, Spike. It definitely is nice. Brendan says, in my opinion, Hex is in the consolidation phase. I agree with Waters. Above Hex, we'll see 600% in Q1 next year, says Brennan. Boot the like, says Sandy Beach. What price is that? I'm not sure what chart I was looking to when you said that there, Pete. Let's jump through that. We've got Brazil in the house. Good to see you. Woohoo! Good to see you, Briz. Who else is in there? J-Man as well. Hello to see you, J-Man. Crypto Artist says, went to 0.18 for a flash second of time. That's true. That is true. That did. And someone was a Hex hodl that picked up for around that price, 1.9 or something like that. That is true. That did happen. Cool. Crypto and Cookies. Woohoo! Good to see you as well. 72 hours left for the NFT asset mining rigs ATMs from Pulse Bitcoin. Yes, that is true too. If that's something you're interested, hey, maybe the asset token might just do quite well. Who knows? It seems like it's going to be pretty limited to me. I like the attitude there. Check my pulse as well. Onboard a few friends. Yeah, onboard it. Well done, man. Hey, well done. That's what it's all about. Onboarding all the Hexkins. Yeah, that's the way to go. And of course, saving a lot of people from all those CeFi and centralized exchanges, getting them onto quality DeFi like Hex. That's the way to go. Dirty Paws in the house there. Thanks. Hey, you're welcome. And Blobfish King and F the emojis. I like it. Sandy Beach says 0.21, give or take. Yeah. We do. I think there was a bit of a flash price. Doesn't show up on this chart though. That's all. Back here, I think it did get down about 1.8, and someone did pick. I think it was Hex Hodl picked it up on limit order. And about 2.29 is the price on here on that big whale that sold out that time. But at the moment, it's holding on there around just over 3 cents. Check my pulse is going on a cruise in January to Dominic and Caribbean. Nice. Hashtag jealous there. Check my pulse. Hashtag jealous. Hex, that's the price. That's the Hex price at 600%, says Sandy Beach. All right, so cool. I hope you guys have enjoyed the live stream, and we're going to wrap up here. I will be doing some short videos later on today, and of course, get into Discord. Discord's open all the time, so get in there and chat about anything. There are different groups for different topics, so definitely check that out. Yeah. I like that little tree there. Nice. All right, so let's play some fun here. We're gonna have some fun. Let's do it, folks. Now we got to find out what I was going to play. Where am I going here? We're going to play a little exit video, couple exit videos. Hope you guys enjoy it. Take care, everybody. I will catch you later on. Bye for now. Woo!
This is the opportunity of a lifetime. Yes, every scammer in the world is going to tell you something similar, but in this case, you are actually going to have regret.
Remember all the haters? All the haters that told you that I was a scammer and Hex was a scam? I got bad news for the haters. We're making new all-time highs where everything else is getting wrecked.
Price is up 4,000 or 5,000 fold in 600 days.
I've made enough money in the last week that I could buy a house in cash.
I would never have to work another day in my life.
I'm here to shill. I want to change the world, and I can only do that if people participate.
The only thing that matters in this world is goods and services. Everything else is accounting. And our made-up imaginary internet money is better than the government's made-up imaginary internet money. Both of them are only backed by the shared fiction of the humans believing that they have value.
If Hex is a religion, then Richard is God.
I'm in crypto for glory. I want to have the best cryptocurrency that's ever existed. I want to have the best performing asset that's ever existed.
And so I think of blockchain as like the internet. In the 90s, everyone thought the internet was just for email.
I bought some this morning.
They're imaginary quarters. Like, it's like playing Monopoly.
I put it all in. I went
Like, all what?
all over house money.
This is a force that is not going to go away. The cryptocurrency is not going away. And at some point, the people that you met that you thought were crazy loon birds, they're going to be in the 1%, and they're going to be the people that own half everything.
We're doing an interview right now.
The highest of stakes.
What is the highest of stakes?
In one word and one word only.
Magic.
The one thing that I've seen come true again and again and again and continually is that desire matters most. And I know how much desire we brought to wanting to see this thing happen.
I don't even know that I believe in magic, but I think I do after making this movie because there's just so many things that happened that seem like they're 1 in a million.
Do you remember back, like, how all of this started?
Oh, yeah. I sure as hell remember the moment this started. I told you about this